This day in Philly sports history is proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, where passionate fans make powerful content. Check out theclashingconferences.com and join the squad today. What's up, everyone? Welcome to This Day in Philly Sports History for July 21st, 2026. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of the podcast. It is Tuesday. That means it's time for a little motivation/positivity brought to you by the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network. Go to clashingconferences.com, see what they have to offer, and see how you can join the squad today. And be sure to check out their podcast anywhere you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube. All right, so we have a story here today from Clint Hurdle. If you haven't already, I highly suggest you subscribe to his daily newsletter. Get a lot of good things that, one, I use for Tuesday motivation positivity, another just in my real life. But the story is, it's about a father who wanted to teach his son about decisions and doing the right things and typical stuff you want to do as a dad. So what this dad did, if the kid made a poor choice or made a bad decision, he would give him a hammer and nail, tell him to go out, stick a hammer into the fence. If he made, by the same token, the next day, if he made a good decision or a good choice, he would be able to go out and remove one of those nails. Until he was about 15, there was always at least 2 or 3 nails on that fence post. But as he started beginning to grow into adulthood, become 18, the number of nails became less and less until they were eventually all gone. And once all the nails were gone and they were consistently gone, the dad said, "All right, son, come here." And he took him out back. He was like, "I want to show you something. What do you notice about this fence?" And the son noticed that despite the fact there were no nails, there were still the little marks and the little holes where the nails were. And essentially it was the effect of the putting the nails in, putting the nails out. And so the dad was able to give him the lesson, said, "Here's the thing about bad choices and bad decisions. Even though you may totally be forgiven for them, you may everybody may have moved on from your bad decisions, your bad choices, the effects and the consequences of those decisions at some point will always be there." So the moral of this story is, think before you make decisions. Try to make the best and most educated decision you can the first time. And look, and I've been there. You can heal, you can be forgiven, you can forgive others, but there's still always that little piece, that little part of you that bad decision or that bad choice still lingers. It leaves marks. So make good decisions, build up others, do what's best for the collective, and just treat others the way you want, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make. Don't leave any holes. But I like that story. So hopefully there's something out of that you can take through your weeks about good decisions versus bad decisions. And we talk a lot on this segment about getting all the knowledge and making the best decision possible. So that kind of just reinforced that. So that is brought to you by the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, courtesy of Clint Hurdle. So, like I said, I like that story. It's always easier to make the best decision and a good decision the first time. All right, so let's get into it. And what a game for Trey Turner. I think he's a liability now in the field. One charged error. Probably got lucky on a couple other plays, that a little bit of hometown scoring. But he very easily could have had 3 errors minimum in this game. And in a close game, that's going to be a liability. And fortunately for Trey, he made up for it at the plate. 2 homers, 5 RBI. But, man, and I don't know what the solution is. Part of the solution was involved Aiden Miller. But now with Aiden Miller having the back issues, I don't know if you move him to the outfield. It's a mess. And they got lucky. Like I said, they got lucky that it did not impact them on last night's game. But this is an issue. And pretty much, I think we've all seen it and we've all noticed it throughout the year. But because of the other deficiencies of this team, we'll see what happened. Excited to see what Alex McFarland can do. His turn as the fifth starter. But good win for the Phillies, though. Take the first game against Dodgers, looking to close out that series tonight. Zach Wheeler on the mound. Congrats, though, to Trey, who hit his 200th career home run. And Bryce Harper hit his 200th home run as a member of the Phillies. But it was a fun game. I just after the first inning, every time the ball was hit to Trey, I cringed a little bit. Luckily, it worked out though. All right, the other news yesterday, and still no LeBron. There is no LeBron updates yet. Rumors are everywhere. I get people asking me what I think, and I'm like, at this point, I have read so many reports and seen so many people say per sources, I don't even know what to believe anymore. Maybe it's today. Who knows? But okay. I did see too for the Flyers. I did see someone who floated out a trade proposal that people were going back and forth. It was interesting. I saw this on Twitter, and I would do it in a heartbeat. Essentially, they traded a few first-round draft choices and Matvei Mishkov for Connor McDavid. I'd probably do it in a heartbeat, but that had Twitter abuzz yesterday as well. And the other thing that was trending on Twitter that I just don't get, and I'm an educator by heart, and going to educate some of you here, is there was an article in The Athletic on Nick Sirianni. Talked about trying to keep things fresh, the importance of this year, and how he's trying to keep everybody motivated. It was a great piece. But because it mentioned in there that he said he used ChatGPT to help him with some of his motivational speeches, everybody's freaking out. Oh my God. Or it's not even his words, blah, 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 blah. Listen, as someone who uses AI very regularly, obviously we spend Fridays with AI, but for some of our trivia questions, I will ask AI, and then you still need to fact check it. AI is not going to create a speech in your voice, but to ask AI for ideas or how do you spruce this up, that's just perfectly normal. That's just the way technology has advanced right now. So to skewer Nick Sirianni for using AI is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if you want to skewer him for being a hothead, a loose cannon, for what is your official role on this team, all of that, yeah, that's fair game. But for using AI, I have been in my job now. I'm going into my 12th year in my full-time day job, and I do weekly shout outs where, hey, this is what this teacher did this week. Congratulations, shout out. This is awesome. But I always do a motivational little blurb to intro it. Guess what? I use AI all the time. Emails to parents, AI. Emails to colleagues that are a little bit, you got to write a tough email, AI. The fact that Nick Sirianni is using AI is not a big picture. Who cares? Who cares? You have to have your own messaging in it. For our high school basketball figure tournament, I had AI help me do the seeding. I'm writing the book, This Day in Philly Sports History. AI is my editor. So to rip him for that, listen, everybody to each his own. If you want to rip him for anything football related, I might not agree with you, but it's fair game. But to rip him for using AI to help him do his stop. We need football season to start because this is the time of the year when people get all up in their feelings about Jalen Hurts being on a list and we're finding and nitpicking things to bitch about the coach about. We need football, and we're 1 week away from training camp. Thank God. Thank God. The World Cup being in Philly, the All-Star game, I think, kind of delayed this. Usually would be a week or two earlier, but just, jeez. You're killing me, guys. You're killing me. All right, so quick housekeeping notes. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Philly Jimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Philly Jimbo as well. Continue to spread the word. There will be another new Brotherly Birds breakdown this week. We're back in a regular groove as we get you ready for training camp next week. But the best way to stay in that loop is to subscribe to the YouTube channel and then follow me on all social media platforms. All right, yesterday's trivia question: which Philadelphia area courses have hosted PGA majors? Well, the Philadelphia Cricket Club has hosted the U.S. Open. Marion, also the U.S. Open. The Philadelphia Country Club, that's the one that tripped everyone up, also hosted the U.S. Open. Lanark, which if you guys paid attention yesterday, I gave you that one, PGA Championship. And Aronimink hosted the PGA as well. Reppin' Philly ain't a choice. It's a way of life. PhillyGoat.com is your one-stop shop for Philly pride. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off. Look fresh. Stay Philly. Philly Goat. Go Birds. All right, July 21st. First, we're going to go back to 1973. And on this day in 1973, Phillies beat the Braves 8-4 down in Atlanta. Bill Robinson and Bob Boone homered for the Phils. Ken Brett was on the mound that day for the Phils. Yes, George Brett's brother played for the Phillies. He pitched 7 strong innings, giving up 4 runs, including a 2-run homer to Hank Aaron, number 700 for his career. Hank Aaron became the second player to hit 700 home runs for a career. But the Phillies did win the game. But Hank Aaron, home run number 700 off of Ken Brett. Then fast forward to 1997. On the field, Curt Schilling gave up 3 runs on 2 homers in 8 innings, but the Phillies blow a 2-0 lead to lose to the Pirates 3-2. But the story was what happened before the game. Long-time fan favorite, legendary Philly, Darren Doughton, approved a trade to the Florida Marlins. Phillies, in return, got Billy McMillan. There was an emotional press conference before the game. The leader, the heart and soul of the 93 Phillies, one of the better guys in Phillies history as well, was traded. He would go on to win the World Series that offseason or that postseason with the Marlins before officially retiring. Little side fun fact there: the general manager of the Florida Marlins was a young Dave Dombrowski. So Dave Dombrowski had ties to the Phillies long before he came here. But Darren Doughton traded away on this day in 1997 to the Marlins for Billy McMillan. Didn't really pan out so hot for the Phils, but nothing they did back in those days seemed to be working out for them. And then fast forward to 2009. Jimmy Rollins homered in the bottom of the 3rd. Cubs tied it in the top of the 4th, and the game would remain scoreless until the bottom of the 13th when Jason Worth hit a 3-run walk-off homer. Joe Blanton went 7 strong innings. Chan-Ho Park pitched 3 shutout innings and struck out 5 in relief of Blanton in extras as the Phillies win it 4-1 over the Cubs at Citizens Bank Park. 2012, another on the field, off the field. Off the field, former Philly Tim McCarver was presented with the Ford C. Frick Award. Obviously, he was best known for his time on Fox. Still one of my all-time favorites was when Deion Sanders dumped the bucket of water on him, and he was like, "You're a man, Deion. You're a man." But Tim McCarver, Ford C. Frick Award. Again, best known for his work on Fox. However, he was a catcher for the Phillies. He also got his start in broadcasting on Channel 17 during Phillies games with Richie Ashburn and Harry Callis. And then on the field, Phils lose to the Giants 6-5 in 10 innings, But Shane Victorino went 1 for 4, and it was hit number 1,000 for him in his career. He became the first Hawaiian-born player to have 1,000 hits. So big day for Shane, big day for Tim McCarver on this day in 2012. And then 2005, Aaron Nola makes his major league debut, a 1-0 loss to the Rays. Nola, to his credit, was good. 6 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits, 1 run, struck out 6. But in the ultimate ironic foreshadowing, the 1 run came on a home run to the Rays pitcher, no less. So I guess the writing was on the wall all the way back in 2015 for Knowles. I shouldn't be like that, but it's true. It's true. All right, and that does lead us to today's trivia question. Speaking of pitchers giving up home runs, who are the top 5 pitchers in Phillies history for career home runs given up? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line, 267-495-8531. Answer that. Get anything else Philly sports related off your chest. Want to complain and bitch about Trey? That's fair game. Want to talk LeBron, Sirianni using ChatGPT, whatever you want to do here on a Tuesday. It's all fair game. You can also come over to the Discord channel, which is the first link in the description. Or maybe not the first link, but a link in the description. All right, and then finally today, our greatest Philly high school hoops figure tournament rolls on. Brought to you by Beach Caddy. Go to beachcaddy.app if you're in Stone Harbor, Sea Isle, Ocean City, Avalon, or Wildwood. They'll take the stress out of your Jersey Shore vacation. They'll use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your order for your move in, move out, as well as your beach cart rentals. Best beach carts at the Jersey Shore. Go to beachcaddy.app. All right, and then yesterday's result, it was Tom Gola edging DeJuan Wagner with 55% of the vote. Gola got off to a hot start, and then DeJuan Wagner chipped away throughout the day, but it just wasn't enough as Tom Gola moves on. And then finally, then we move today to the Overbrook region for a 1-4 matchup, our final Sweet 16 matchup in the Overbrook region. Wilt Chamberlain versus Gene Banks. Let's start with Wilt. Went to Overbrook, held the Southeast PA scoring record until Kobe broke it. He had games of scoring 90, 78, and 74 in high school. 3-time Public League champion, 2-time city champion. Also was a track star. Was pretty good on some of the field events, some of the jumps, as well as the sprints. Compiled a 56-3 record in high school. Averaged 40 points per game as a senior, 37 for his entire career. He was the 1955 Mr. Basketball USA. From there, he went to Kansas, 2-time All-Big 8, 2-time All-American, most outstanding player of the tournament as the runner-up. Wanted to go pro, but due to NBA rules, was not allowed to, so played his senior year with the Harlem Globetrotters. From there, he was a territorial pick of the Philadelphia Warriors, where in the NBA, 2-time NBA champion, including here with our Sixers, 4-time MVP, 13-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA, 7-time scoring champ. He's on the 35th, 50th, and 75th NBA anniversary teams. Kansas, the Globetrotters, the Lakers, the Sixers, and the Warriors have all retired his number. Of course, he's a Hall of Famer, and as well as a college basketball Hall of Famer. That is why he's the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. Taking on Gene Banks, who's no slouch himself, went to West Philly. He was named to All-American teams his final 3 years of high school. Led West Philly to 3 straight Public League championships. 68-game winning streak while in high school. He was Parade Player of the Year. He was a member of the inaugural McDonald's All-American team. He won the Capital Tournament MVP, the Dapper Dan MVP. Highly recruited and considered one of the top players in the country. It was him, Albert King, and Magic Johnson when they were coming out of high school, going to college. So it's pretty good company. Decided to go to Duke, started as a freshman and turned them into a top 10 team, went from last place to the Final Four, became the first freshman in Duke history to record a triple-double. He was ACC Rookie of the Year, 3-time Duke Team MVP, and is often credited with helping to turn that program around before Mike Krzyzewski got there. Went on to have a 6-year NBA career and still is very instrumental in Philadelphia basketball to this day with youth programs and things like that. This is a great matchup. I know a lot of people are going to say Wilt, but if you really, really do the research and check out Gene Banks, dude was a stud. So now it's your turn. Who moves on to the Elite Eight? Wilt Chamberlain, Gene Banks. Get your votes in any way you can. Back to the Future Voice and text line, all my social media, wherever you're watching this, just comment. But who moves on? On this day in 2015, Aaron Nola makes his Major League debut, a 1-0 loss to the Rays. Didn't pitch bad, but of course, he gave up a home run. 2012, Tim McCarver honored with the Ford C. Frick Award on the same day that Shane Victorino becomes the first Hawaiian-born player to have 1,000 hits in Major League Baseball. Jimmy Rollins homered, and then Jason Worth with the walk-off 3-run homer in the bottom of the 13th on this day in 2009. Darren Daulton traded on this day in 1997. And Ken Brett of the Phillies gives up number 700, career homer number 700 to Hank Aaron, but the Phillies do get the win on this day in 1973. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully the Phils are celebrating a series win over the Dodgers. Hopefully, maybe we'll get some conclusion to the whole LeBron James thing. But remember, as you go through your weeks, make good decisions, because even if you're forgiven, your poor choices, your bad decisions still leave, even if it's the smallest little mark, they still leave that mark and will remain on forever. So best way to combat that is to make a good decision the first time. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for July 21st, 2026. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Tuesday. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.